So you finally arrived. Welcome to the first installment of the Exile's Survival Guide, a series for newer players as well as veterans of the game who may have forgotten some of the vendor recipes and quest rewards along the way. I'd like to take just a quick second to say thank you to my partner Nox for coming up with the idea to do a joint channel focused on informative, short videos regarding Path of Exile and showcasing our successes as well as shortcomings on builds we've designed and personally tested. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Just a quick note, the video in the background is part of me going through Act 1 on a witch. This is the very beginning footage of the Act 1 Quick Start Guide that we will be releasing soon. Stay tuned for that, and let's get to it. Welcome to the shores of Rayclast, where you have just been shipped off to since you managed to royally up in Oriath, a rich boy island basically, and get exiled to the continent of Rayclast. Through the story, you're going to chase after some key characters who are clearly up to no good, such as Piety and High Templar Avarius, and the gang. And eventually, you'll be faced against the fallen god Kitava. Oh yeah, you fight him twice by the way. Spoiler alert. Now, with a bit of backstory out of the way, let's get to it. So you're sitting on the character select screen. You haven't really picked a build, you don't know which direction to go. So let me give you a quick rundown. You've got 7 classes to choose from, 6 if you're a brand new beginner and haven't rescued the Scion in Act 3. You've got the Duelist, the Marauder, the Templar, the Ranger, the Shadow, the Witch, and the Scion. Now each class has 3 Ascendancies, which you will do your first Labyrinth in Act 3. So for the Duelist, you have the Slayer, Champion, Gladiator. Now, while we will cover specifically what each Ascendancy does later on, the Duelist is typically a melee character who is dexterity based. For the Marauder, you have the Juggernaut, Berserker, and Chieftain. The Marauder is a strength-based character who gets access to some powerful melee skills early on, such as Molten Strike, Sunder, and more. He specializes in having a very high life pool, which in turn makes him very tanky. For the Templar, you have the Guardian, Inquisitor, Hierophant. The Templar is a hybrid character based in strength and intelligence, which makes him either a good minion player, a self-caster, or a totem player. For the Ranger, you have Deadeye, Pathfinder, Raider. Typically, the Ranger will be played as such, using ranged abilities. However, later when you've ascended, the Pathfinder is very strong with spreading poisons through melee skills or bow skills, and the Raider is a very fast attacking melee character. For the Shadow, you have Saboteur, Trickster, and Assassin. The Shadow is a hybrid class between intelligence and dexterity, with access to strong traps, mines, as well as spells, and melee skills that are focused on dealing heavy critical strikes, and as well as spreading poison through chaos damage. For the Witch, you have Elementalist, Occultist, and Necromancer. The Witch doesn't need too much explanation. She's a very strong self-caster who gets access to spells such as Arc, Incinerate, Fireball, Freezing Pulse, and more, as well as a very strong minion master who gets access to a wide variety of minion types such as zombies, skeletons, specters, and more. Now, for the Scion, you only have Ascendant, because she actually steals Ascendancies from all 6 other classes. Side note, just because the Ascendant can take bits and pieces from other classes' Ascendancies, this does not necessarily make her the strongest pick, but it allows her to be more flexible on her choices for picking a build. Now, for build guides specifically, we will have some good starter builds coming up in the next few weeks/months, especially for the new coming league after Metamorph. Metamorph is still in its early phases right now, so posting league starters may be a little slow for us because we are currently working on some unique builds, but feel free to check out poebuilds.cc. I'll leave a link down below for some of the community posted builds. The next big topic is loot filters. Now, loot filters are extremely important, and I highly recommend using Neversink's loot filter, which you can find at filterblade.xyz. Fancy URL. You can click the download tab, scroll down just slightly, and click download all strictness levels as a zip file. Now, when you go in-game, you're going to press escape, click the UI tab, scroll all the way down, click the show folder button, and drag your new filter files into the folder it opens. And voila, you now have a loot filter. Make sure you keep it on the softest strictness until later on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content coming out weekly. Our next video is going to be a quick start guide for Act 1 regarding quests, passives, and some easy vendor recipes to get you going.